Greetings. This is your brother, Elder Blacklight, your motivator. Just contemplating the fact that Savior's Day is in Black History Month. What a coincidence. Check this out.
Department of Supreme Wisdom, Student Enrollment, Rules of Islam. The following questions must be answered 100% before submittance of student to set lesson number 1. 1. Who is the original man? Answer. The original man is the Asiatic black man, the maker, the owner, the cream of the planet Earth, God of the universe. 2. Who is the colored man? Answer. The colored man is the Caucasian white man, or Yakub's grafted devil, the skunk of the planet Earth.
For the Ethiopians of the Ancient Kushite Empire by Drusilla Dungy Houston. Preface. The Origin of Civilization. The minds of men today are stirred with eager questionings about the origin of civilization, and about the part the different races of mankind played in its development from primitive ages. The remains that archaeologists are uncovering in Egypt, Old Babylonia, and South America reveal that there were significant factors in the first development of the arts and sciences that history has failed to make clear. Scientists are busy today studying the types of those old civilizations and comparing them with those of the present. Our modern systems do not function for the masses, to give them development and happiness as did some of the ancient cultures. Books upon the early life of man are very hard to secure. Few have been written that are authentic, because it requires technical skill to assemble and condense such matter. Exhaustive research work is necessary to secure this kind of information, with only a line here and there in modern books, to help the reader to reach definite conclusions. Only the trained mind holds the multitude of details and possesses the ability to impartially weigh and classify the facts that prove the influence of the races upon the civilization of today. The quest for the innumerable and startling facts of the succeeding volumes arose, much as did the motive of Schliemann, to seek the buried ruins of Troy, from the oft-repeated expression found by the author in research work, that what the ancients said about the Ethiopians was fabulous. Curiosity was aroused to go back over the story of the ancients to agree, or draw new conclusions. The finds were so astonishing that the vow was made to spend upon this study many years if necessary. Like the quest of the Holy Grail, the aim became sacred, for the trail led backward into the heart of all that the world holds most precious, and to the primal roots from which all culture sprang. At first the reading of an afternoon in the average public library would hardly reveal a line to the credit of the Ethiopian. Sometimes a 10-volume set of modern books might yield only a few paragraphs, but the vow and the richness of the finds, gleaming like diamonds, led the eager searcher on. The trail was followed into the dry dusty books of the ancients, where the path widened and truth was revealed that will answer some of the baffling problems of civilization today. Here were missing links of the chain of culture vainly sought for elsewhere. Our story will deal with the ancient Kushite Empire of Ethiopians that covered 3 continents and held unbroken sway for 3,000 years. We will visit old Ethiopia, where, as Herodotus said, the gods delighted to banquet with the pious inhabitants. We will study the land and the ancient race. The old race will next win our attention, that Petri found in Egypt of distinct and unique culture, who were the people of the earlier and superior civilization of the first dynasties. Down through this prehistoric vista we see happy Araby with her brilliant primitive culture and her unrivaled literature of later days. On the screen flashes the rich and surpassing culture of old Chaldea, which belonged to the ancient Kushite Empire of Ethiopians. Next comes veiled and mysterious India, the scene of charming story and magic fable, with her subtle mysticism and philosophy. Tarrying a while with the conquest and life of the ancient Medes and Persians, the trail runs far afield into the dominions of Western Europe, and the striking questions array themselves demanding to be answered. Who were the Celts? Who were the Teutons? And what was the origin of the so-called Aryan race? The author was as much astounded as will be the reader as to what this study reveals. It leaves us wondering if there is any Aryan race. We learn in the study of the races of Western Europe to understand the hatreds of Europe that underlaid the World War. We learn that when the Celt and Teuton call the Ethiopians of the New World uncle and auntie, they are using titles that are scientifically true. Our story passes on to another remnant of the ancient Kushite Empire, that baffling race, the Iberians, now represented by the Basques, then to the Berbers of North Africa, another branch of the Kushite race. Some scientists have called them the descendants of the people of Atlantis. Next succeed the singular facts about the life of the mysterious Etruscans of old Italy, who were the teachers of the Romans. Then we follow the life and tragedy of the fleeting Pelasgians, who were the fountain out of which later Greek culture welled. They were the people of the legends of Greek mythology. It is almost impossible to find anything but scanty fragments in the world's literature about any of these people of prehistoric days.
Stolen Legacy by George G.M. James. Introduction. Characteristics of Greek philosophy. The term Greek philosophy, to begin with, is a misnomer, for there is no such philosophy in existence. The ancient Egyptians had developed a very complex religious system called the Mysteries, which was also the first system of salvation. As such, it regarded the human body as a prison house of the soul, which could be liberated from its bodily impediments through the disciplines of the arts and sciences and advance from the level of a mortal to that of a god. This was the notion of the summum bonum, or greatest good, to which all men must aspire, and it also became the basis of all ethical concepts. The Egyptian mystery system was also a secret order, and membership was gained by initiation and a pledge to secrecy. The teaching was graded and delivered orally to the neophyte, and under these circumstances of secrecy, the Egyptians developed secret systems of writing and teaching, and forbade their initiates from writing what they had learnt. After nearly 5,000 years of prohibition against the Greeks, they were permitted to enter Egypt for the purpose of their education, first through the Persian invasion, and secondly through the invasion of Alexander the Great. From the 6th century BC, therefore, to the death of Aristotle in 322 BC, the Greeks made the best of their chance to learn all they could about Egyptian culture. Most students received instructions directly from the Egyptian priests, but after the invasion by Alexander the Great, the royal temples and libraries were plundered and pillaged, and Aristotle's school converted the library at Alexandria into a research center.
Department of Supreme Wisdom, Student Enrollment, Rules of Islam. The following questions must be answered 100% before submittance of student to set lesson number 1. 1. Who is the original man? Answer. The original man is the Asiatic black man, the maker, the owner, the cream of the planet Earth, God of the universe.